Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Manoj ji. Good evening, Akshay.
Good evening, sir.
Sir, with your permission, can we start the program, sir?
Yeah, please, absolutely.
Thank you, sir. Over to you,
Yes,
Akshay.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvigna Kurme Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. With this salutation to Lord Ganesha, I, Akshay Singh Ranawat, welcome you all to the valedictory ceremony of the 5th cohort of Startup Agribusiness Incubation Program and Agribusinesship Orientation Program, and a very happy Ganesh Chaturthi to all. Niam Agribusiness Incubator, in its journey of 2 years, has incubated more than 150 startups and has made its mark in startup ecosystem. With startup ideas ranging from agri-product value addition, supply chain management and enhancement, introduction of artificial intelligence in agriculture, ideas incubated at Niam Agribusiness Incubator brings rainbow of innovation in agri ecosystem. Today and this day marks the graduation of such 37 brilliant ideas selected by Niam Agribusiness Incubator 2 months ago from various nooks and corners and covering 15 states all across the country, and has provided hand-holding support and incubation support to these ideas and made them stand where they are today. So without further ado, I would like to invite and would like to call upon Chief Operating Officer, Niam Agribusiness Incubator, Mr. Manoj Agrawal, sir, for the welcome address. A very warm welcome, sir, and over to you.
Thank you, Akshay, for such a briefing about the program, and a very good evening to all present here. On the behalf of CCS Niam family, I, Manoj Agrawal, Chief Operating Officer, CCS Niam, would like to welcome our chief guest, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, New Delhi, Professor Manoj Pant Sahab, for blessing the inaugural function by his gracious presence. Professor Manoj Pant Sahab is PhD Economics from Sidran Methodist University, Texas, USA. He is an Indian expert in international trade and he is the Director of Indian Institute of Foreign Trade since 2017. Welcome to you, sir, for this valedictory ceremony program, sir. I would also like to welcome our guest of honor, the founder and CEO of Samunati, Shri Anil Kumar SG, sir, a banker with over 27 years of experience. Mr. Anil sir has worked with the likes of Canara Bank, ICICI Bank, and IFMR. At IFMR, he was involved in designing and developing a local financial institution model called Khetri Gramin Financial Services. And after the success of this model, he promoted Samunati. Welcome, sir, in this valedictory ceremony of a startup program, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Namaste, sir.
I would like to also welcome our guest of honor, Chairman and Managing Director of EM3 Agri Services, Shri Rohtash Mal Sahab. He is alumnus of IIT IM and founder chairman of EM3 Agri Services Private Limited. Amongst his past assignments were Chief Executive of Exports Limited, Chief Executive of Bharti Airtel Limited, CEO of Bharti Field Fresh Limited, Bharti Delmont, etc. I welcome you in the ceremony, sir. Valedictory ceremony, sir. Now I would like to welcome our guest of honor, Managing Partner, Omnivore, Shri Jinesh Sahab. Mr. Jinesh co-founded Omnivore with Mark Cahan in 2010. Previously, he was Vice President and CFO at Nexus Venture Partners, one of India's leading venture capital funds. He is a chartered accountant by profession. Jinesh Sahab, welcome to the valedictory ceremony of Startup Incubation Program.
Thank you, Manoj.
I would also like to welcome our Director General CCS Niam and Additional Secretary, Agriculture and Marketing, Ministry of Agriculture, Farmers Welfare. Sir has taken many initiatives for reforms in the field of agriculture and marketing, which contributed to the growth of the nation and benefit to the farmers. In addition to that, sir is working for overall development and growth of Niam, and a lot of many initiative has been taken for promotion and nurturing of startup incubation program, which is quite visible and result oriented. In such guidance and supervision, Niam is moving leaps and bounds in that direction. Welcome, sir, in the valedictory ceremony of this startup.
Thank you.
I also like to welcome Director CCS NIAM, Dr. Ramesh Mittal, for his guidance and support. Sir, without your able guidance, it was not possible to organize these kind of programs, and you have always helped at every stage, right from identifying the resource person to other important aspects. Your words, insights, and experience always encourage us and motivate us to move ahead. Welcome, sir, in the valedictory ceremony. I would also like to welcome all the participants, means startup who has attended the program, 2 months program, and keeping their heads high throughout the period. I hope they had good learning during this 2 months incubation program and received more than what they expected from NIA. At last, I would like to welcome the faculty and staff of NIAM for being supportive to the program. Also, welcome to the participants from the industry, alumni, other institutions, and other dignitaries who have probably forgotten to name. And I welcome all the participants in the last. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for the warm welcome address. And I'm sure that everybody feel welcome with your regards. So moving forward, I would like to invite Director CCS NIAM, Dr. Ramesh Mittal, sir, for the address. Sir, a very warm welcome on behalf of the NABI team, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Akshay. First of all, I would like to welcome our chief guest, our guest of honor, our Director General, Additional Secretary, Sir, Shri P.K. Swain, sir. I just want to give you the little bit history for this incubation center, how it has been started. This is 3-year-old incubation center, but in real time, it is only 2-year-old. Technical term is basically 3 year because we have received this incubation center in the month of December. So in real manner, actually, we have started work in the January or February month. Simultaneously, ministry has appointed us as a nodal office and knowledge partner for 5 more states. So right now we are handholding IIT Kharagpur in West Bengal. We are also handholding Bihar Agriculture University in Bhagalpur. We are also handholding National Rice Research Institute, Cuttack in Odisha, and in Jobner Agriculture University, which is located in Jobner near Jaipur, Rajasthan. In Jharkhand, still we have not allotted any institution from the ministry side. So right now we are knowledge partner with the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare for RKVY division to handhold these 5 states, which includes 4 institutions and 1 more institution, which is NIAM as a center for excellence located in Jaipur. And since last 2 years, NIAM has developed more than 100 startups. We have crossed the mark of 100, and our partner institutions where we are doing the handholding, they have also crossed together 100 marks. So in total, 200 startups has been already developed across the nation. Being a national institute, premier level institute, we people are inviting application from across the India on pan India level. So I just want to give you the glimpses what has happened this time. This is cohort 5. It means the 5th batch is passing out. We have already completed 4 batches in 2-year span, and results are very encouraging. And I just want to tell you one more important thing. Although many startups and incubation centers are working in this country, namely Atal Incubation Center, namely from the MSME, namely for the TBI, which is technology-based incubation center sponsored by the DST, and many more. But this is the first initiation which was taken by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farm, agri-based startups. And results are very, very encouraging within a short period. This was pilot project. Now it is going to extend for further more years. Now this year in the 5th batch, some data which are very, very interesting, some information which is very interesting, I would like to put on in front of the chief guest and guest of honor. We people are running 2 programs. One is agripreneurship orientation program, which is called Idea Stage Incubation. In this program, basically, we offer 5 lakh rupees grant. Ceiling is 5 lakh rupees, and many young minds are applying, which includes boys and girls from not only from agriculture side, even non-agriculture side also. So in this 5th batch, we have received 177 application in this category. And one more program that is known as a seed stage program. In this program, which is purely a startup program, we have received 141 applications. So total application we have received 318. In the seed stage, we provide 25 lakh rupees as a grant. Now, after the shortlisting of the applications, total 109 application found suitable to take the presentation from these startups. And finally, we have selected 49 applications for the presentation. Now, 49 has completed, and some of them were busy some other activities, and so meanwhile they have regretted and they have excused for the entry in this program. So the real time number is 37, and right now we are organizing this program with the 37 numbers. Now, name of the states I would like to mention, since it is a national level premium institution. In the idea stage, we have received application from 14 states, which include Telangana, Tamil Nadu, New Delhi, Gujarat, Haryana, Jharkhand, Rajasthan, Nagaland, Jammu and Kashmir, Maharashtra, Odisha, Mizoram, Karnataka, and Uttar Pradesh. Same like if you look at the seed stage, almost same kind of participants from the different part of the country has applied, and the many states has been participated. Now, if you look at the sex ratio, now total 22 male in the idea stage and 15 in the seed stage. Female is 3 in the seed stage, and male is 12 in the seed stage. So total number of in idea stage was 22 and seed stage was 15. Now the interesting thing is, if you look at apart from this agriculture background, people have applied from all kind of background, like they are MTech from IITs, they are BTech, they are MBAs, they are MBA in agribusiness, they are BSc, they are graduate, they are postgraduate, even they are from arts discipline also. So these data are very, very encouraging. Even I remember in the some last cohort, some students were from the international side also. Like the Harvard Business School, one guy has applied and he has taken admission in this organization, and right now he is working in a very good manner. With these data, I just want to share agriculture startups are having a lot of scope, especially in technology based startups focused on blockchain, IoT, or maybe the post harvest related issues, maybe the assigning, maybe e-commerce, maybe like internet oriented things, e-bazaar, e-marketing. Such startups are coming forward. So what we see, basically we see the bright light which is coming from the youth, and it is not like and one thing which is very, very interesting I would like to share with you. In this course, there is no barrier for the age and no barrier for the education. Even the illiterate person can apply for this program. And age like more than 18 is required. Why it is so? Because we have to sign one MOU with these guys to disburse the grant. Otherwise, a retired fellow is also applying and they are getting grants. So this is very unique program, and I am very happy to share under the leadership of our chief mentor, Shri P.K. Swain sir, who's not only the Director General of NIAM, who's Additional Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare. His profile is very high and is a very busy person, but still he is acting as a mentor, not only for the startups, for staff member and faculty member of this organization. With these words, I just want to say thanks to all the distinguished guests and all the startups who has joined this program, and thank you for this acceptance to join the program. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for giving a short brief of the entire scheme and how the program is executed at NIAM Agribusiness Incubator at CCS NIAM. And I'm sure you are, for us, a very encouraging hand, which has always been there for us in guidance of DG sir. So without further ado, we'll be marching ahead, and now we'll be just showcasing the video prepared by our team, which shows about, which talks about the experience of these 37 ideas which were there with us for 2 months. And I give it over to the IT team. They can play the video, the experience of Nabi startups. Over to the IT team.
I would like to mention that this video is regarding the 2 years journey of NIAM Agribusiness Incubator. So we'll having the glimpses of various cohorts in this video. Thank you. We can run the video, please.
Namaskar. I am Prasant Kumar Swai, Director General of Chaudhary Charan Singh National Institute of Agricultural Marketing, which is located in Jaipur, Rajasthan. This institute, which is popularly also known as NIAM, is a national institute promoting agriculture marketing and agribusiness in the country. As a part of it, NIAM has been promoting agri-startups in the country in the entire agri-value chain. The startup ideas which are novel in nature, which are technologically very improved ideas, are picked up through the national selection process and groomed rigorously for 2 months in NIAM campus by various experts in the field. The startups are also provided seed capital to ensure that their ideas also get concretized and turns into business propositions. Agri-startups are today doing very well, and they are today the job giver and not the job seeker. They are generating huge employment in the country. Agri-startup ideas are helping the country in promoting productivity, production, value addition, and reducing post-harvest losses, thereby improving substantially the income of the farmers. This is a union situation, and Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi's idea of Startup India is really getting translated into reality, in which NIAM is playing a very big role. Now, wish all the startups the very best in their career. Thank you.
I think the motto of CCS NIAM is never say no, because whenever we have extended or asked for their help, they've always been there to guide us, to mentor us, and to give us the right direction. I thank CCS NIAM for this opportunity of this incubation program, because without this, my entrepreneurial journey was not possible. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Niam, for conducting such a wonderful session for the last 2 months during the AOP program. It was very nice, very learning, very thoughtful, interacting with fellow startups, faculty members, and team Niam. Thanks, Niam, for providing such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you.
Great initiative by CCS NIAM, and we are looking forward to it. Thank you to each and every member involved with it.
CCS नियाम से जो ट्रेनिंग हम लोगों को मिल रहा है SABIP प्रोग्राम के तहत, ये बहुत ही यूजफुल है। इसको हम इम्प्लीमेंट कर रहे हैं दिन ब दिन, तो हमारी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन और अच्छा कर पा रही है। अकाउंट से लेके, प्रेजेंटेशन से लेके, कस्टमर रिलेशन से लेके, सब कुछ इतना बढ़िया से सिखाया गया, इतना अच्छा से, जैसे कि एक गार्जियन होता है, अपने बच्चों को जैसे सिखाया जाता है, इस तरह का ट्रेनिंग हम लोग पाए हैं। हम बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देते हैं CCS नियाम, अभिषेक सर, महेश सर, अक्षय सर, जितने जो टीम मेंबर्स हैं, सबको दिल से धन्यवाद देते हैं।
All the sessions in these 2 months are very insightful and very interactive in nature. It's a really eye-opener experience for all of us, and thank you so much to NIAM's team. It's very motivating and refreshing for us. NIAM's team is very enthusiastic and made the training both interesting and enjoyable. Thank you so much.
I strongly believe that the training imparted to us by NIAM through its internal faculties and also the guest lectures and all were really extremely helpful to us to scale up further. And I believe the bond we have with NIAM shall continue further. Thank you very much.
So this is a great learning experience for me, and all the sessions are thorough and helpful, and I believe all my friends, all the other participants also do so. The resource persons are very well qualified, and they help me so much to grow and help me to see my idea clearer and also from a whole new perspective. And yeah, I can't put into words well enough to describe how valuable this program has been for me. Thank you all for everything. I wish you all the best. I wish you good health and for your future endeavor. Thank you.
अपना बिजनेस 0 से 1 कैसे ले जाए, वो हमको काफ़ी अच्छी तरीके से हमको सीखने को मिली, एंड काफ़ी अच्छा सपोर्ट देती है ये नियम, और नियम स्टाफ बहुत अच्छी तरीके से सपोर्ट हमको किया है। सो एंड थैंक यू फॉर अपॉर्चुनिटी नियम एंड नियम स्टाफ, थैंक यू सो मच।
Thank you so much to the IT team for taking every bit and pieces of the entire program of the last 2 years journey and compiling it into a videographic representation. It was beautifully done. So, and as I always say, that success of startup is directly proportional to success of a NIAM agribusiness incubator. And hence, moving further, I would like to request any of our participants, if they want to say any words with regards to what they have experienced, and they can share their experience and give us a feedback. So any startup who wants to say some words can raise their hand. I think Pratmesh wants to. Pratmesh, kindly take over if you have some.
Yeah, good evening Akshay, and good evening Swan sir and the entire team of NIAM out there. It was absolutely wonderful to be there for the last 2 months, and the kind of encouragement and the teaching which we got in last 2 months is really it was insightful, and specifically 2-3 sessions which were conducted which were really eye-opener. So I really thank CCS NIAM, the entire team, and on behalf of all the participants, I would like to thank you for the great things which you are doing for the last 2 years and last 2 months. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pratmesh. I think Chavi, would you like to say something?
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Akshay, for giving me this opportunity. I will take a little longer. Thank you, everyone. And firstly, I would like to say good evening. And I feel lucky and privileged today to be speaking in front of such an esteemed panel. Past 2 months with CCS Niam have been a guiding light for us. And in my case, it is absolutely true. Before I joined this incubation, I had only a dream and an idea to become an entrepreneur, but was completely directionless. The past 2 months have helped me structure my idea and my business. The program has not only given me the direction, but also accelerated my journey with so many assignments given and so much of work to do. I have learned a lot from all those assignments and burning the midnight oil. The curriculum is so designed to cater for all the possible information that a budding startup requires. The team has always extended their support to all of us. They always took a personal interest, and that I would like to highlight here that they never say no. The hand holding was always 24/7. Each one of the team members have gone out of their way to extend their support and their guidance to mentor us. I thank CCS Niam from the bottom of my heart for giving me this opportunity to attend this incubation, because without CCS Niam's support and guidance, my entrepreneurial journey was just not possible. So thank you to each one of the team members for inviting the panelists who taught us, who took lectures, for everything. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Chavi. I hope you are saying that true. All that you've said, you believe it.
Every word I truly mean it from the bottom of my heart, Akshay.
Thank you so much. It was so nice, and we are gratitude of you. We'll take one more participant. I think there are so many hands raised, but I'll just take Shamrendra. I think you can highlight some of the experience that you had.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, good evening, everyone. In fact, I feel privileged to be part of NIAM and this curriculum SABIP 5. And this is one of the best program. I think initially when we started, the experience was like I started on a note as if we'll see how it goes, because I happen to have attended some few other programs with other other institutes of India, the country's top institutes. But when we went through the content, when we met the faculty, when we met the staff, and the kind of mentoring, the hand holding, and what Chavi was talking about, the personal touch, I think the support was available 24/7. And I would request Swain sir and the ministry to, in fact, initiate such programs all across. So it's a great beginning, and I always look forward to support from NIAM. So thank you very much. Thank you for mentoring us.
Thank you so much, Shamrendra. But I think I see a lot many hands. They want to share experience, but I think we are cutting a few hours, and we are running strict on time. So I will be marching forward, and I think we'll definitely showcase all of your videos that you guys have sent on the official website. And I think through that we will maybe take time to showcase your expression. So moving ahead, now I would like to invite for special address our guest of honor, Managing Partner Omnivore, Mr. Jinesh Shah sir. Mr. Jinesh Shah sir, a very warm welcome you on behalf of CCS Niam family, and over to you, sir.
Sorry guys, I was just trying to adjust my video. Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me and see me.
Yes sir, very well.
I think when I was looking at the video, I was fascinated to see the kind of startups across the country working in agriculture sector, right? For me, it's personally a great thing, because for years, agriculture was one sector which did not get the right talent, right? This was the sector where everyone who could not get anywhere was working in the sector. But now, for once, I'm seeing a great amount of young talent trying to focus on this sector, and hopefully all of us putting our heart and soul into this will be able to create a significant impact on the ecosystem and help the farmers, who are the real stakeholders in the agri sector, right? I think also fascinating to see the number of startup entrepreneurs who are getting involved here, who have different coming from different parts of the country, and trying to contribute. I mean, as a fund, I mean, as a startup VC startup investor, I mean, I would encourage that if in your journey of entrepreneurship, if you ever want to have a larger capital, wants to have raise a larger round so that you can further grow and help the farmers, I think as a fund, we will be more than happy to work with you, add value wherever we can. Uh, Besides, also, since you all are entrepreneurs, it's important that agriculture entrepreneurs start collaborating rather than just competing with each other, right? I mean, we all the sector is such huge and the problems are such magnanimous. I mean, at such a huge scale that anyone, it's not possible for any one or two or three people can solve all the problems. So if you could get a chance to work with the other startups, other large private enterprises or the government, I think I would encourage all of you to work with them together and hopefully create a solution which helps to build up the nation. I mean, very happy to see all the young faces here and all the best for your honored journey. Thank you very much.
Uh, Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for like in a very simple manner you comprehended how financial modalities can be accommodated with operational achievements by a startup and how it is required and encouraged in the agricultural sector, which is much required at the current point in time. So thank you so much, sir, again for warming our occasion, and thank you on behalf of the entire team. So marching ahead now for the special address by our guest of honor, I would like to invite CMG EM3 Agri Services, Mr. Rohitash Mal sir, for the special address. Sir, a very warm welcome on behalf of NIAM Agri Business Incubator. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. My compliments to Mr. Swain for being the guiding light to this entire exercise. Extremely heartwarming. Professor Pant, our icons, Janesh and Anil, very little needs to be said about them and their encouragement to the entire ag sector. Director Mithil, and it's lovely to see your videos. I'll probably end up adding my 2 bits worth to what Jinesh has already said. What I found delightful was that you're on your 5th cohort, and may you come up with many, many more cohorts in the very, very near future. Over the last 10 years that I have been associated with agriculture, I've never found a more exciting moment than today to be in this space. There is just so much happening. There's so much interest from technology. There's so much interest from money. There's support from the corporate world, CII, FICCI. The number of initiatives that are being taken is enormous. But if you add the initiatives that are being taken by the MOA in the last few years and the acceleration during COVID, agriculture was the COVID resilient sector, as we all know. And the amount of interest, particularly that is happening around the sector, is absolutely formidable. And as I said a moment ago, I can't think of a more exciting time to be in the sector. And for all these young people who are kind of cutting their teeth in the sector, what a great moment to be here. India is beset with a lot of problems, but as our Prime Minister put it very, very simply, how do you double farmers' income? How do you double farmers' net income? The profit, impact the P&L account. Now, all technologies impact this. Some technologies more, some technologies less, some initiatives more, some initiatives less. But the fact of the matter is, for all these young people who are getting into this, one crucial element is choosing the right problem to solve. Choosing the right problem to, and the solutions that impact directly the profitability of the farmer. And those that do that more will obviously accelerate far, far faster. And my humble hope would be that just as financial support and mentoring support is coming from institutions like NIAM, this acceleration is crucial to our sector, particularly the quality of mentoring that these young achievers receive, and not merely literally lip service mentoring, deep involved mentoring. Fewer startups per mentor is probably a good idea. And you should, as NIAM, reach out to people who now have a mission of mentoring the sector, not necessarily involved in the business of agriculture or the business of technology in agriculture. My very best to everybody associated with it, starting from the MOA all the way down to these 37, the support system, and I am extremely heartwarming this entire exercise. I wish you all the very best in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for your encouraging words and highlighting how technology plays. Yes, it does play a crucial role in the entire agriculture sector as well as all the sectors connected with us. And I duly note your suggestion on with respect to less mentor, like more mentors plus startup ratio. And I think we'll work upon it. And I think we'll be able to intrigue more into the every startup in the way that is expected. So marching ahead in the schedule, I would like to request and invite for our special address, founder and CEO Samunnati, for a special address, Mr. Anil Kumar SG, sir. Sir, thank you so much for connecting with us, and I welcome you on behalf of NIAM. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Akshay. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are clearly audible and visible.
Thank you. So, good evening, everyone. Wonderful to see such a bright group come together. Sven Saab, it has been so inspiring when you called me at 10:30 in the night asking if I can be part of this. That shows how much of dedication and effort you are putting for the betterment of your institute. That itself was an inspiration, for us. Dr. Mittal, so good to hear that you have crossed a double century.
साहब, मेरा भी रिप्लाई ये है अनिल साहब कि आपने 10:30 बजे फोन लिए, so स्टार्टअप के लिए भी आपका हार्ट बीट भी काफी है. मतलब आपके हार्ट actually beats for the startup because you immediately accepted my invitation. Thank you.
My privilege, sir, at all times. We seek inspiration from people like yourselves. So Mittal Saab, double century ke liye, congratulations to you, and the energy that Manoj brings in all the conversations. Great. Dr. Pant, it's pleasure to know you. And of course, Jinesh, Rohitash, we're all fellow travelers in this journey. So this is the day for the 5th cohort. As I was thinking of what should I share in the 5 minutes that we have here, just two ideas came to my mind, and I wanted to share that. First thing is, as Adi Shankara says, there are three things in somebody's life that happen once in 10,000 years, once in a million of years. One is being born as a human. That's the first thing. Second is having that curiosity, the inquisitiveness to know why am I born is the second one. And third one is finding a capable guide, a guru, to make one realize why am I born. These three things may come independently, but all these three things coming together can happen once in a eon, once in a million of years. And something similar is what we are experiencing in the startup ecosystem in agriculture. First and foremost, this bright set of people taking up the entrepreneurial route is commendable. Thinking that I would want to become an entrepreneur. Second, finding an incubator like NIAM, so passionate about nurturing this young raw energy to do something meaningful, and that too in a space like agriculture where there is so much that is happening. It's the moment for Indian agriculture, and we are seeing all ominous signs, including omnivore, all ominous signs that there is so much of possibility that we are seeing in agriculture. So these three things coming together is also not ordinary. So since we are in agriculture, we have to make hay when the sun shines, and sun is shining bright on agriculture at this point in time. So this is the moment for each one of us to seize and excel. The other thought that also came to my mind, and when I heard Major Chavi Sharma talk about ASAB straight from the heart, right, is this is what makes an entrepreneur an entrepreneur. following the heart, solving larger problems, being at it for the purpose for which we exist as organizations. वो नहीं छूटना है. Never let that go off, because that is what drives us. Financials are incidental, recognition is incidental, valuations are incidental, everything else is incidental. जो दिल से निकलती है, that is the reason why we exist as organizations, and let that not get distracted or doused by the challenges and the possibilities, both. And there is a term called obliquity. I would strongly suggest that you go through what obliquity is. Obliquity is nothing but entities, companies, ideas which pursue the reason why they exist are the ones that succeed eventually. And that is the passion that we bring in, and as entrepreneurs we need to continue to be driving it. So on this wonderful day of this 5th cohort passing out, I strongly suggest that follow your heart, follow your passion, rest all will follow you, and stay grounded, because we belong to agriculture. And I wouldn't agree more with Jinesh that collaboration is the key. And we are seeing a lot of collaboration among very many players, including the warmth that that you see when Jinesh, Rohitash, and I meet, and virtually or physically. We always feel that we all belong to the sector, agriculture, given an opportunity to work together, and that's the spirit of collaboration. So look for collaborations, and we at Samunnati would be privileged to do our own little bit in whichever way that we can. Take a look at Samaram in our website. If there is something meaningful that Samunnati can add to your wonderful journey, we consider that to be our privilege. So on that note, friends, wish you all a very, very best and a successful journey ahead, where you add value and meaning to yourselves and the lives of smallholder farmers in this wonderful country. Jai Hind.
Thank you so much, sir, for such a beautiful address, I would say, and sharing your insights, and very specifically underlining how internal zeal is actually the fuel for an entrepreneur, and how only that can fuel the entire startup ecosystem further ahead. So with that note, we'll be progressing and marching ahead with our schedule, and we'll be moving towards our keynote address. And I would like to invite Director, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade, and our chief guest of today, Professor Manoj Pant, sir, for a keynote address. Sir, I welcome you on behalf of NIAM, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Akshay, and welcome. Thank you to Mr. Swain for inviting me. And again, congratulations to all the participants, and particularly those who have recently submitted their or completed their startups. And to remind them that the importance of these lies not just in the startups. Importance that it lies in the fact that this is the time the country as a whole is going to witness a dramatic shift in the agricultural sector, where you're going to move away from traditional, crops like wheat, rice, sugarcane, to exciting crops. I love seeing your bajra cookies. And these are the kinds of things where the future lies, but there's a risk involved, which is what the startup is all about. So the whole point of, I guess, the institute and what you people will do is that you're undertaking a risky venture. But the thing to remember is, unless you have risk, there is no reward. And to expect a reward without a risk is a very foolish business proposition. So when we take, so what you are doing today is bringing business to the field of agriculture. Agriculture was becoming so far a profession which you fell back upon nothing else to do. It got to change. And I think hopefully this startup culture in agriculture is particularly important. I would say, to me, even more important than startups we deal with every day in the industrial sector, in the service sector, which have been part and parcels of life since about 2000. But this is a very new thing, because the nature of the structural change in agriculture is only now beginning. Structural change industry began in the 90s. The structural change agriculture is only now beginning. It's only if people take up this opportunity that they are going to be able to move to extremely innovative and extremely useful as far as the business part of agriculture is concerned. So let me not go on too long, and again strongly encourage such ventures, which is the only way we are going to be able to move agriculture to what someone mentioned, if the PM's view that we should double agriculture incomes in farmers. This is not going to happen until these kind of ventures start taking place. One small beginning, of course, is NIAM and what it's doing with startups. I hope more such incubators and startups emerge in the country, because agriculture is the one sector most difficult, but possibly the most rewarding in terms of returns. And particularly, I will mention the field of trade. You'd be surprised the market there is for these kind of products that you're talking about. We've traditionally been exporters of rice, we've been traditionally exporters of wheat, spices, these are standard products. But these new things, I saw some of them on your video, these new things are the kinds of things which the future is all about, as far as agriculture is concerned. So I hope success to your venture. I hope many more such incubators flourish. And I hope those who have got those startups, and I see some of you are mentioned here, Major Shavi, I can see you, so no other reason to mention you, but I can see you in front of me. I hope you remember, you've got to keep at it. Don't expect quick returns. And I think you are lucky you have a CCS behind you, which will keep backing you. Whole point of startup is what? New. Otherwise, what is the difference between startup and a new venture? The whole point about a startup is it's a new thing. And new things are always risky. New things take time. But keep at it. Believe me, I hope one day when I retire, well, at some point of time from the business, I do personally have a great interest in getting back to what I think is the way forward, startups and innovative products in agriculture. So once again, credit to all of you, credit to NIAM, and credit to CCS for taking forward a very, very niche part of the Indian economy. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Very thank you to so much you for taking out time from your busy schedule and clearly drawing attention towards the risk and reward paradigm which actually exists in agricultural sector as it exists in any other sector. And I'm sure our startup must have taken some insights as to what you highlighted, especially with respect to export and how we have been conventionally a rice and wheat based country, but I think with our startups diversifying in every possible wheat and commodity, I think we'll have a great future ahead. So once again, thank you so much, sir, for taking out time for us. Now marching ahead for address and special address.
Sorry, I have to get on to another thing in 10 minutes. So if no one minds, and my apologies to those who speak after me, if you don't mind, I would like to leave at this point. Mr. Swain, is it all right?
That's fine, absolutely, Professor Pant.
Thank you so much. I'd love to visit your institute someday and see some of the products in front of me. Maybe we'll do it one of these days.
In fact, our convocation will be on 23rd when our Honorable Minister of Agriculture will be visiting. And we are planning to showcase some of these startups. I've just told them yesterday. So if my institute is able to showcase the startups, because they are with all the high technology also. And some of the startups have been picked up outside also. So I think we extend you the invitation anytime, not just on 23rd, anytime. And we have a beautiful guest house. It's a green campus. So sir, please visit us in Jaipur.
Yes. Thank you. And very sorry to the others.
We'll be looking forward to some partnership with you also.
Absolutely.
Partnership for our startups.
We'll take this forward.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us. We are indeed grateful to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. So progressing with this schedule, now I'll be requesting Additional Secretary, Minister of Agriculture and Director General CCS NIAM, Shri P.K. Swain, sir, for the special address. Sir, a warm welcome on behalf of NABI team, and over to you, sir.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you, Manoj. It's a great pleasure and privilege to be here today with all the 37 startups, whether it is idea stage or the maturity stage of the 5th cohort. I first of all avail of this opportunity on behalf of NIAM Jaipur to congratulate you for successfully completing this program of two months. It was a very rigorous program. Certainly, definitely must have burnt your midnight oil, because it's worth burning midnight oil at this stage to really cover. So let me first welcome our guests, Sri Anil Kumar SG from Samunnati Finance. He's with us. We are very lucky to have him. We are also lucky to have Jinesh Saha. He is from Omnivore and he has agreed. So let me also thank him for coming. I must thank Mr. Rota Small, one of the biggest startup today, fast moving startup, who is having his second round of probably the raising of fund. And I think he's a torch bearer of the startup ecosystem in India, who will be showing light, having served in the top positions in the industries. He's now himself is moving this startup EM3. Of course, you are sir following the Tatas, particularly if I have to say that so. So I wish you all the best for the future, and certainly I wish your company to grow up into a kind of unicorn or maybe beyond unicorn. So that's the kind of thing I'm wishing you. Having said this, I am also thanking Professor Manoj Pan for joining today in this entire journey of our cohort. In fact, startup is a difficult propositions many probably would thought, but in agriculture particularly. But now time has come when agriculture is the one which is gearing up for the change, because agriculture always has been a traditional sphere, because the culture of civilization started with the agriculture. So that is how the culture is there after the agri. If you see all these civilizations, Indus Valley or any other civilizations, it started with the agriculture. You go back to that history. But then so tradition has been the hallmark. But today agriculture is the change, is the only thing which is happening in agriculture. Having said this, the startup ecosystem is here to come and here to stay in the agriculture sphere, though it is little late, but it is now catching up, because agriculture is catching up with the technology, be that artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, or blockchain, or so on and so forth. Agriculture is catching up first, not just world over, but in India too. So the farmers are now getting savvy, mobile savvy, looking at the weather, looking at the price, looking at the market through the mobile, smartphone, that to smartphones. So whatever the world may talk about of farmers, the farmers are also getting smart. Having said this, so the startups ecosystem, it is quite now right ambience for startups to come up in that area, and Government of India has been promoting through that Startup India, the startup ecosystem, not just in agriculture, for a whole lot of areas, particularly whether it is electronics, e-commerce, or even supply chain and others. If you see this in last 5 years, the journey when the Startup India of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji came up on his dream. So we have actually the startup under the Startup India, more than 40,000 startups have been recognized in India, and almost the investment of more than 4,005 crore has been made in those startups. So that's the kind of success story of startup in India, which is unthinkable few years back. So having said this, if you look at it, even the startups, the best part of in India is that the women's participation in the startup, because it's not anymore the men's dominion. Like agriculture, which used to be men's dominion at the field and women's dominion at earth in the value additions, but here the startups are also dominated by the women. Nearly 44% of the recognized startups have at least one woman director in that startup. So that shows that the women, the ladies are moving forward in the startup. That's a kind of statement which is recognized in India and which is actually for the entire world a kind of idea for showcasing. And if you see in India, almost 30 states of the 37 states and union territories, 30 states and union territories have at least a dedicated startup policy. That's more important. It's not just Government of India. The states are also backing up with this. And nearly 590 districts have one at least recognized startup in this. If you have to see the statistics, it means that the startup culture is getting grounded in India and it is grooming in India. So, though, of course, many said, like Professor Pan said, no risk, no gain. So, risk is there, but then risk is not to make you get scared. What actually it was told by Anil Saab is that follow your heart. Yes, there is risk. Follow your heart. If you follow the heart, definitely that dream, that black box where the flash of light has come, that idea has come to you, whether it is agriculture, anywhere in the value chain. So that you follow your heart, that risk leveraging can be done by you. It's definitely, that's where the risk-taking ability has to be really brought up in you. So if you have to look at, you will be like a kind of karmojogi. So you have to actually have a kind of duty to you. In fact, there are the selfless actions of working on that particular project has to be done. You may not get a profit at the moment, but you need to put your entire effort and investment into this wholeheartedly. So that duty to this without expecting a kind of reward, that's very, very important. Initially, you may not get a reward at all. For a few years, you may not get it at all. And your ego has to be kept out of this entire thing, that whether you have to approach somebody, whether you have to go down before somebody, that has to be taken out of it. The attachment has to be there when you are following your heart. It's need not be that if you are failing, you have to be attached and keep on mongering. So you have to know where to change your track. That's very, very important in this. And if you have to see this, you have to do a lot of concept research on this. While bringing in a lot of commitment to this, you have to have a lot of research into this entire thing. And validation, that is the validation of the idea, is pretty important, where the NIAM is one which is working towards validation of work. So, and refinement of the idea, initial idea, you need not be getting attached and stuck to this. You need to refine that idea and move forward with the time when you're putting your heart and soul. And then scaling up that startup and becoming established when you are maturing. So these are the stages that you'll have to pass through. So definitely. So that is where the collaboration is also a key factor in this. So if you have to look at it, so in fact, Government of India also has been providing an ecosystem in terms of, like, if you have to see this simplification of the rules, procedures, and there is a handholding, then there is a funding support Government of India has been providing, whereas the entire effort will be by you. So if you have to look at it, so they have even provided rebate, 50% rebate in trademark filing, or even 80% rebate in patent registration. So if you have to look at that, so Government of India has already trying in the field of simplifying, minimizing regulatory compliances. So now the field is very fertile to plow on that and come forward when there are also when there are support services like Samunnati or Omnivore or the likes. So definitely you have to take that big leap. Don't expect that you'll get an overnight profit. Yes, there are unicorns. And let me tell you, in India also, unicorns are also being, whether you call it Rajopay or others, they are also coming up. In fact, India has a good history of having the unicorns. If you see during the, last year event, 2020, we had 7 unicorns. That is, unicorn is something which is registering in, 1 billion and above. So that's the kind of unicorn status, this thing. And in India, these unicorns have taken a cycle of about 6 years. So don't dream of immediately becoming unicorn. Follow your heart. You'll probably definitely land up in unicorn or beyond unicorn. So that is why. So the effort that you'll be putting today, definitely somewhere it will be paying you the kind of very good dividend. So with this, I wish you all the best. I'm sure that NIAM is always there to fall back on the knowledge in terms of any time you'd like to, because this entire team led by Dr. Ramesh Mittal, they have been working day in and day out to ensure that the startups come up. In this 2 years time, little over 2 years time, they have already provided support to more than 115 startups. And some of the startups, when I hear, I get an idea, like Mr. Mittal provoked us today in his speech, that even the retired persons after retirement are coming up for the startups. Probably some of us also will come up the startups to NIAM in future. So thank you, Dr. Mittal, for encouraging all of us. But certainly, I thank my team, startup, this entire team, RKVUI team in NIAM, which is working very hard to bring it up. And certainly we'll be looking forward to a great future for our investors and for our entrepreneurs. Thank you all, and tell you, goodbye. Bye.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for, again, I would say, taking out time from your busy schedule. You have been like a guiding light to all of us, like throughout the execution of program, whenever we have asked for dates from your time and again, we keep bugging you, but you every time take time for us. And yes, you very clearly comprehended and contemplated how male female ratio is getting diluted with startup ecosystem, bringing out how women ratio is getting increased. And yes, of course, startup ecosystem is getting the support from government in like with respect to IPR or other compliance related issues and regulatory norms. And thank you so much, sir, again. And yes, if you say, we'll be more than happy to incubate your startup idea once you retire, if you're bringing on any idea. So with that note,
Akshay, but I just want to say, sir is not near to retire. Sir is a so energetic, youthful, young person, which I cannot see in the age of 30. You believe me? Day and night, 24 hours, he is working. The kind of energy he has, I wish all the youth should have such kind of energy.
Thank you, Dr. Mitra. Thank you.
I'm sure, sir. And sir, the cohort in which Swain sir would be there would be one of the most fanciest cohort. I think we would have the most energetic one, and I think everyone in the cohort will have fun. So on that note and on a lighter note, we'll be moving further with our schedule, and I would like to invite our Manager Finance and ICT NIAM Agri Business Incubator, Mr. Abhishek Sharma, for a vote of thanks. Abhishek, if you're connected with us, over to you.
Thank you, Akshay. First of all, good evening, everyone. And first, I would like to thank our Director General, Sir, Shri P.K. Swain, Sir, for guiding us through the project and for motivating us all through this journey. Sir, your continuous support and energy has made us believe that no matter how difficult the goal is, it can be achieved. Secondly, I would like to thank Dr. Ramesh Mittal, Sir, Director and Chairman, NIAM Agri Business Incubator, NABI, CCS NIAM, for his continuous support and availability at each and every step of the project. Sir, we have inculcated so much from your guidance. Again, thank you. Next, I would like to thank Mr. Manoj Agarwal, CEO, NABI. It is his everyday efforts and vision that this project has reached heights and has pursued successfully. Again, I would like to thank all the dignitaries who are present in today's valedictory ceremony. Up next, I would like to thank NABI team members, namely Mahesh Kadam, Akshay Singh Ranawat, Sachin Uke, Ashutosh Vyas, Gajan Singh Verma, Rahul Sakla, and Rinku Mali for their continuous hard work and persistence. The whole team has worked 24/7 like a family for attaining successful completion of this project. Next, I would like to thank all the mentors who are very supportive in interacting with our startups. I can see few mentors, Shri K.V. Iyer sir and Shri Sudhir Kumar Goyal sir in the meeting. Thank you very much, sir, for supporting our startups. Also, I would like to thank all the participants for keeping their heads high throughout this period and making us believe that the patience and motivation success can be achieved. At last, I would like to thank the staff of NIAM and the students for being supportive to the project and towards our participants for making this incubation program a success story. Thank you very much. Over to you, Akshay.
Thank you so much, Abhishek. Thank you so much for your words. And I think everyone who is connected with us feel warmed and blissful with your words. So I think with that note, we have come to the conclusion point of the valedictory ceremony as well. And I think it was a journey for all of us, like all the ecosystem partners, for our guiding officials or startups. And I am sure this collaboration is now lifelong for all startups. I would say that you are now with us for throughout your entrepreneurial journey and our incubation journey. We have built a team, and I think that is how we are going to take things forward. And as I always say, and I'll again will say, that your success is directly proportional to ours. Hence, the way you proceed in your career, so will we. So I think with that note, on the DG Sir's permission, I would like to close the session.
Before you close this session, let me also invite Mr. Anil Kumar SG, Mr. Jinesh Saha, and Rotas Mahal to visit our campus, because it's a beautiful campus. So I'll fall for it. And with a beautiful kind of ecosystem you have, with nature resides in that campus, with birds flocking to that of all colors. So we'll have a love for it. So I'll invite all three of you to visit our campus also shortly. Thank you.
Thank you, Swain sir. As they say, you should be careful about what you wish for, because it might come true.
We'll be risk-taking in that. We are taking risk in that. Absolutely. We'll follow our heart. Follow our heart.
So I think we have clearly today evaluated risk and reward paradigm today, and I think we are executing it the same soon.
Thank you. So thank you, Akshay. So thank you for conducting this. So wish you all the best, and thank you, Dr. Mittal, and thank you, Manoj also, and all of you in this. Thank you, all my guests today, chief guest and guest award once again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, sir. A very good day to all then. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.